All right, man. So first things first, quick little introduction from you. So what's your background? Where are you at now? How'd you get into it? And then what do you want to talk about today?
Yeah, so I graduated college, went into banking, hated it. A couple of friends were selling cars at a dealership here in Dallas called Sewell. One of the biggest, it is the biggest Lexus dealership in the nation by volume. They're making four times as much as I was. So I said, well, I can figure that out. So I went and sold cars for about 3 years. Was just burnt out. It's a lot of hours. Moved to South Carolina, opened a Total Nutrition, which is like a GNC type
Yeah.
place. I think you'll have them out there. Had that for about a year, but I hated living in South Carolina. Ended up selling it, moving back to Dallas, and then went into software sales for a company called Dealer Socket, selling software to dealerships, and then to Gartner, which is like IT research and advisory data. And anyways, the majority of my friends are older and they're all in commercial construction. They all have way more money than me. And I said, well, I bet I've got enough mentors to figure out this construction thing. And I was actually on Reddit trying to figure out, what's a good business I can start. I'm sick of working for somebody else. And I came across a post about somebody who had started a painting business. So I actually got on YouTube and found your videos, and you seemed sincere in them, and watched all of them multiple times, and then ended up buying the course.
And when was that, roughly?
That was I probably bought the course in September last year, and I filed my LLC and got insurance in October last year.
Okay, sweet. So fairly new to things.
Yep.
You're in a kick-ass market, man. Oh my God, dude. I want to get a business in Dallas so bad.
Yeah, it's tough. Biggest things I've come across is like when I do a house and I've got a little piece of carpentry work or something, I can't get a guy to show up for a $200 job. And, labor is expensive here. It's easy to start a business here, especially in construction, but labor is super expensive. And even the guys that are really bad and do poor work, they have more work than they can handle.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? That's
Blows
why,
my mind.
people ask me, they're like, well, dude, don't you think it's saturated? There's so much competition. I'm like, yeah. And everyone, like, they don't need to be better because there's so much work that it keeps the quality low, which is what makes it so easy for someone who because I can come in and just show up. I was, one thing we're working on at our company is really focusing on a customer experience. And we have great reviews. We have a great reputation. And I think we probably deliver like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I know.
If I'm being honest.
I'm running the same thing. So, I've gotten jobs. For instance, I did a house here in Highland Park, which is one of the wealthier areas here.
Yeah.
And the guy said he called 6 people. 3 called him back. One made an appointment, didn't show up. And the other guy wrote his estimate on the back of a business card, which is something you said. And
Right.
I've had multiple customers go with me just because of the professionalism.
Right.
But
And
I still don't think we're doing the best work we could be doing.
Right. Like you're getting 5-star reviews and customers are happy. And you're like, dude, I'm not even doing a good job. Like that's
yeah. And I'm not talking about my process. My process is good. Obviously, we can improve that all the time. I'm talking about the actual work that we're doing. Like we could be doing better work. And my main subcontractor group actually got from a buddy who was building condos here, and he's been using them for about 10 years. But because of the market here, they've stopped building and they're just developing land. So I took his painters from him. So these are guys that he's been working with for 10 years, and I still think they suck.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, I think over time, like it'll slowly keep catching up because the more like people enter the market and make it more professional, it's like right now, all you got to do is like you saw in that example you just gave is show up and be professional. But sooner or later, there's going to be people showing up and being professional. Then it's going to be, you've actually got to deliver better and better work. And, but it's going to take so long for that to happen.
Yep.
But the more we can stay ahead of it, I think the more you can solidify like such a great business, and in Dallas, like, man, having a $10 million residential company is like it's almost small potatoes with the size of that market.
It really is. Yep.
It's crazy. And that'll take some time to build up to, but, awesome, man. And how's this year going so far? You're about 7 months in or so?
Yeah, it's in hindsight, I probably would have started with more cash. I haven't done the door-to-door thing. I did start with enough cash that I could buy leads, and then just having a lot of friends in construction, I've gotten some referrals that way, things like that. And then I've already had customers where they've either sent me to other customers, friends they've had, or like that guy in Highland Park, he owned fourplexes in Highland Park, and we've already done a second one for him. So making money, I run into an issue where because of when I collect, I take 25% up front. I don't know what most people do. Take 25% up front, and then it's maybe 2 to 3 weeks before we complete the job. And it's like during that time, I wish I could be buying more and more leads so that I can keep that rolling. But but I've got to wait for more cash to come in. So like we're running into that issue a little bit, but that's my fault for not going and knocking on doors yet.
Got it. So what's your sales at so far for 2019?
I'm at about 50,000 right now. I didn't do my first job though until late January. So even though I filed the LLC and everything in October, I didn't get anything.
You were learning and getting things established.
And I was still working my office job, hadn't left that. So
Thanksgiving, Christmas, yeah, it's basically starting in January. So that makes sense. Okay, cool. So you have 50K. Have you the first thing I would recommend, and I don't know if you've done this or not, but have you filled out like that business plan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you kind of know what metrics you're aiming for weekly and everything?
Yep. And for me, like right now, I could handle more leads. It's just the cash flow thing. And like I said, that's my fault for not going and knocking on the doors yet. But the lead services that have worked, and I've had success with those.
Which ones are you using?
I'm using Home Advisor, Craft Jack, and then yours.
Got it.
And then I was on Thumbtack for a while, but they've made so many changes in the past 6 months that it's
sounds that way.
Hard to use now. Yeah.
I haven't been deep in the weeds on any of that stuff, but I've heard they've made a lot of changes.
Yep.
Kind of crazy.
I'm in a Thumbtack group on Facebook, and a lot of those people are smaller things like, photographers, $500 gigs, things like that. And they all hate it. I think it's still good for the bigger job sizes like we're in. But I'm still it's my lowest performing lead source. So with Home Advisor probably be my top.
From volume or percentage or both?
Percentage wise of how many are solid leads that have good information and people actually want to move forward on work. Nice. And then my closing percentage, but the Home Advisor leads are 2 to 3 times as expensive as everybody else.
Right. Yeah. And just to clarify, so percentage, I'm always looking at percentage spent for revenue. So I'm like,
I'm still highest on Home Advisor.
Oh, so that's the most expensive as a percentage of revenue, but it's also highest volume, which is pretty common. I mean, that's pretty typical with Home Advisors. They can pump the most leads through, but it's the most expensive because of the cost, the competition, and all that stuff.
Yeah, the competition, I haven't run into issues with the competition on Home Advisor, or at least none that I've been aware of. But it's just, I'm paying anywhere from 75 to 115 in this market for an exterior painting lead there. Right. And another thing with the revenue, my revenue has jumped up quite a bit in the past 2 months because I've started doing interior work now. I wanted to make sure I trusted this subcontractor group to be able to do it, and I'm comfortable with them now. So
nice, man. So cool. So door to door would be a big one for you, I think.
I know. Even when I was in software sales, that was one of the things I hated the most was the soliciting part. But no, I know I need to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man, because it's kind of one of those things that I had to work myself out where nobody inherently. Well, that's not true. There's some people out there who are like, dude,
they just have no shame. They don't care. Yeah,
they love that shit, But I think for the most part, it's not like a natural thing.
Yeah.
But at the same, so what helped me was just kind of looking at what is it that I don't like about it. It's just. I'm walking and just offering someone free estimates. So if I could just write down all the things I hate about it and then be willing to set those things aside and be wait, really, this is just something I'm doing, and I'm doing something else. And once you figure that out a little bit, just overpay people for it, man.
Yep.
I'm guessing you're probably pretty good at sales.
I was successful in the sales world. Yeah.
Yeah. You've been doing it a long time. And
I think
you can present yourself well.
Yeah, I think my goal here in the next month, because this has been something I know that I need to push forward on, is the door to door. Is I'm going to go out there and knock it down, and my fear about it is completely irrational, and that's the worst part. Is I know it's irrational. I'm still scared, and it's just about bothering people, right? Yeah. But I want to perfect me being able to do it, and then I've actually a good friend of mine. He's got a 19-year-old son. He's got a few of his friends that are in the community college here, right? That don't know what they want to do, aren't going to a 4-year university, and they're good kids. So if I could get some of them to go door to door and do that, and then their kids, that they could grow with the company with me. So
yeah, dude, just overpay them, man.
Yeah.
For you right now, overpay them. So here's the thing: is I'll break down numbers for you real quick. Mm-hmm. You know what you sell per estimate?
Like my average?
Yeah, if you do 10 estimates, do you know how much you'll sell on that based on closing rate and job size?
My closing rate's about 30% right now. Okay. Average job size has been about 3,700.
Okay, so you're closing whatever about 1,200 estimate, roughly.
Yep.
So So that's a good number to know. So 1,200 an estimate. So what are you paying percentage wise to Home Advisor? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head, but that'd be about 30%. That would be high on Home Advisor. If we figure $100 a lead, 3 leads to, excuse me.
Probably 4 leads to do 3 estimates to book a $3,700 job.
Yep.
Is that rough? Are you setting about a 3 out of 4?
Yep.
Okay, and let's say it's $100 a lead. So you're spending $400 to book $3,700.
Yep.
So you're right at about, what is that, 11%, something like that. So let's just say we're aiming for like 7%. 7% would be more profitable than Home Advisor right now, right? And 10%, you can scale with that. And then over time, you'll get that down because you'll start getting referrals, another business, and your sales rate's going to go up. If you're at 40%, that changes things.
Yep.
So we can afford about $75 an estimate, that means.
Okay.
Right? If you $75 an estimate, you're selling $1,200 per estimate, dude, that's like 6%. You're in great shape at that point.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, pay one of those kids, like the one I'm thinking about hiring, he's working at a trampoline park making $12 an hour. If I pay him $15 an hour, if he can get 1 estimate an hour, and then I'll give him a bonus for every estimate he gets, it seems like it's much less expensive than.
Yeah, or what we're doing is we're paying $20 an hour.
Okay.
And they get bonused after they hit a certain number. So we're paying them $500 a week for 25 hours of work a week. 5 hours is training, meetings or training, and then 20 hours is going and knocking. And someone who's just performing average should get 1 lead per hour. And then your conversion should be 1 out of 3 to 1 out of 2. Like 30 to 50% lead to estimate conversion.
Okay.
Because they're going to get some that are just crummy, and it's different from like a lead service lead where those people are seeking out an estimate. So conversion is typically lower. It can be higher, but I would budget for like 30, 50%. So the bottom line is if I'm paying $20 an hour and they get a lead an hour, that's $60 for 3 leads. And I set up an estimate, I'm getting $60 estimates. I'm at 5% marketing costs.
Yeah. And are you bonusing these people based on estimates or jobs sold or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm bonusing them on estimates done after 10.
Okay.
So basically I'm saying, hey, I'll pay you $50 an estimate. So that first 500, that's for your first 10 estimates. Every estimate we do in a week after that is $50. And then I give them a second bonus based on our sales ratio on those estimates.
Okay.
So if they're getting us really good estimates and we're closing the hell out of them, I'll pay up to $80 an estimate. So I think the best week anyone had was like, I had a guy make like $1,200, something like that. But dude, $1,200 in 25 hours for a 19-year-old kid, like
that's a lot of money. Yeah, I get it.
That's not the average. On average, they're probably making the $500 to $600 a week.
Yeah.
But
which is still a lot of money for a part-time job.
Dude, yeah, I mean, you're not gonna get that anywhere else as a college kid for the most part. Like you said, he's making $12 an hour. Yep. So that's what I would do, man. Yeah, I think you got the right idea. Like, follow the system, get out there, knock it out. It's not going to be as bad as the more you're resisting it, it's turning into this big monstrous thing. And
I know.
You won't have to do it forever, but the sooner you do it, the sooner you don't have to do it.
You're right.
And the best way to shorten that curve is to give up all resistance to it, to not want to, like, I have a business partner who she just hates it. She started as a marketer, moved into sales. She runs a business now. Her business is kicking ass. She's great. And she's finally gotten to that point where she's like, fine, I'm just going all in on marketing. However long it takes, it doesn't matter. I'm going all in. I'm doing it right. And for years, and this isn't just her, I'm not even picking on her. It's pretty much everyone I've ever worked with. They're investing into marketing so they don't have to.
Yep.
Instead of like, no, I'm going to just go all in on it for as long as I have to get it right.
Okay.
The more you resist it, the longer it's going to take, because you'll keep doing just enough and then pull yourself out of it, and then it'll fall to the ground and you start over. And most people do that several times before they like realize like, oh my God, I'm so sick of restarting this team.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, you'll probably still go through that, even though I said it, but I said it now. So
no, I understand what you're saying, and I need to get on it. So that's my plan here in the next week. So
nice, man. Cool. So what can I help you with? You running into any trouble?
Man, I would say, what we talked about at the beginning, where I feel like we're not doing the best work that we could be doing. I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels like that. Because it's even more frustrating when the customer's happy. And in my head, I know that we could have done things better.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel good. She told me that. I would say that I probably don't know what I don't know right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I know everything, but I feel like it's going smoothly. We're getting busier every week. I just went and bid a job today. It was almost 20 grand on a big custom home that we actually painted their last house. They sold it. They just bought this when they closed on the 13th. And whoever lived in it before painted it all wacky colors on the inside. So we're painting the whole inside.
Cool.
So nice.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
how many, so from a subcontractor standpoint, how many reliable subs do you have right now?
I've got, so the guys I got from my buddy Mike, who was the builder, he's got almost 15 guys at his disposal. So we've been able to do
that you're tapping into.
Yeah. So there's one main one. His name's Israel. He speaks enough English and I speak enough Spanish that we can communicate. The rest of the guys don't really speak English, but and I think they're all actually family members of him. But he's got, like I said, 15 guys. So we've done 3 projects at one time so far. So I haven't run into an issue where I don't have enough subcontractors, though they are hard to find.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could probably tap into 8 of those guys at any time, would be my guess. If he's got that many and things are slow for them. So, 8 guys can do about 20K a week. So you don't have any bottleneck in terms of subs right now.
No, I don't.
And you can't really find good subs until you've got the work.
Exactly.
The best subs want, like, wait, you can keep me busy for life and pay me well and pay me right away and you're going to be cool to work with. That's how you get the best subs. So that's not a place to even focus on right now. You're good there. How many estimates are you doing a week right now?
Not enough. Probably 3 to 4. Yeah, not enough.
Got it. So yeah, door to door is going to be a game changer.
I got to do the door to door. Yep.
Can you expand your territories at all?
What do you mean?
On lead services, can you expand like your coverage area?
You can. I'm pretty far out there though. I don't know. So I live in Dallas proper. My painters are in North Dallas, far North Dallas.
Yep.
I basically try to get estimates anywhere from Dallas proper to what would be called Frisco. So call it 40 minutes north of Dallas, because going to Fort Worth kind of sucks in traffic. Going too far east is the houses get kind of shitty over there. So it's not a size thing right now.
I'm just surprised that between all 3 lead services, it's only a few estimates a week.
It's because I'm turning them off often because I'm not spending money on them.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have the funnel open on them. Like even on Home Advisor, I'm sure you know how it works. They send you opportunities that you not pay for, but you can accept if you want to. And I get probably 5 to 10 of those a day. But I'm just not taking them because, if I took 5 a day at $100 pop, that's $500 a day I could be spending on leads. And while I'm confident I could close a significant portion of those, it's just a cash flow thing, and that's why I got to
risk. It's just like a risk you aren't comfortable taking yet, because like it's also your percentage on marketing is at like 10%, let's say, 25% deposits. So you should actually be cash flowing on selling the jobs.
Yep.
But you'd have to front the cash for the leads and then lag on the sales by like a week, and that's literally
exactly. Exactly.
So if you can go knock on doors and book 10 grand. You'll take 2,500 in deposits, and
I can buy leads.
And then you're literally like, cool, that's a week of leads. More than a week of leads. That would be like open the floodgates for you.
Yeah. And you're right. No, I know I'm being stupid and not doing it yet.
Okay, good. Just so we know, just so we're clear. Cool.
Yeah, we are clear. Yeah.
No, good, man. All right, cool. Well, that makes me feel better because obviously I just want you to be doing. I know you can do more than you're doing, and that all makes sense why now.
Yep.
Sweet. Let's see. Sales sounds like you're doing good in sales. 30%, $3,700 job size, solid foundation there.
Having my background in both car sales and software sales, the initial call I'm comfortable with. Meeting with the customer, like building rapport and everything, that part's easy for me because I've been doing that for so long, and I enjoy talking to people and being around people. And I've had customers tell me, "Hey, we went with you. Even you were more expensive. You're a couple $100 more. But we went with you because of your professionalism." So I'm comfortable on that part. It's just right now scaling it and just getting more leads and getting the cash coming in.
Sweet, man. Cool. That's exciting.
Yeah. No, it's been awesome. Yeah. Even my favorite part about it is when I was working at my last office job, had to be there 40 hours a week, and I'd come home from an 8-hour day, and it was the easiest job ever. I just sat at a computer, and I was miserable when I got home. A couple weeks ago, I was at a house doing a bunch of trim work, and I do it myself, and I'm good at it, but I'm not fast. So it took me 8 hours to do all this work. I got home and I'm tired, I'm sweaty, and I'm gross, and I'm laying there. And I'm thinking, man, I had a great day today.
Oh yeah, dude.
Not miserable like I was.
Oh yeah.
That part's nice.
No, I love it, man. Well, and I told somebody this earlier today too. It's like, and I've said this before, but I'll say it just in case you haven't heard it, is you don't get in this business for year one or year two. It starts to be really worth doing by like year three, and really like year five. It's like, not that it's not good in year one and two. I'm confident that when you can open the floodgates on those leads and do 10 estimates a week, it's going to go crazy. I mean, you're going to be selling about 12 grand a week. You'll be netting $3,000 to $4,000 a week. That could happen in 3 weeks for you from now, which is going to be maybe 6 once you have the lag time for production. But so it's not that year one can't be really good and year two can't be really good, but it's like, man, it's the building. It's like when you can get to, okay, now I've like got $1 million company, and once you've solved the main problems, which is marketing, selling, producing, and then hiring and managing other people, which is the toughest one. But when you solve those 4, then it's like, all right, I can just add like 2 more employees a year, and this thing's going to freaking take off, and when you get that, you're in the $2-3 million range, like that's where, and you've got people running the show, and that's only 5 years from now. You're like, now what the hell do I do with the rest of my life? So I think that's really the real reason to get into this thing. And, it just starts slow. The first year is always the slowest. So.
Yeah. And then with me, some of that's my fault, not doing the door-to-door stuff yet. But I mean, just this call has been motivating, and I've already been having some conversations with some mentors and about getting this part of it going. So
yeah, dude,
just we'll make it work.
Yeah, man. And then the customer experience thing, that I'm
that you've been working on.
Yeah, man. I'll probably when I get some things dialed in, we'll probably share some things with the group, because I do want to up that. But I always think man, that's such a massive competitive advantage. I'm just at this point where, I think to have a really long-term, really sustainable, dominating business, that's the key. And man, it is at scale. It's a really hard problem to solve. It's pretty easy. I think it's a lot easier to deliver an amazing experience when it's one crew or one contractor, and I'm the salesperson and the production manager. So our business now, it's, marketer gets the lead or the office manager does, and then the estimate gets set by the marketing manager, office manager. Salesperson does the bid. Colors guy does the consult and does the test samples. Production manager produces the job. And our biggest complaint is people are like, dude, I just talked to so many people.
Yep.
But that's how we can deliver that too. And it's almost more, we've got to figure out some clients want to not talk to you at all. Some clients are like, if I could just sign this and then you just text me when you're done and I'll write you a check, that's my perfect experience. Other clients literally want an update twice a day.
Yep.
And so how do we create literally different, and some clients want that color consultation. Some don't want to deal with that crap. Some would prefer to do it on their own. Some are just match the colors. Don't even talk to me about it. So figuring that out, I think is going to be really interesting, but it's going to be most rewarding. The biggest challenges, the most challenging things to figure out are the things that'll probably make you the most money.
Yeah.
So we're working on a lot of that stuff now, but
we ran into the same issues in software sales because we had a BDR that was doing outbound, generating leads.
Yeah.
They were talking to the customer once. Then me as a salesperson was talking to them. Once they signed a contract, they were sent off to a team that built the software for them and implemented it and everything. And then after that, they were handed off to a customer success manager, which was their account manager, right? That kept them happy with the software. And we had some customers who were happy with that, and we had other ones that didn't like that they were passed around. But as a salesperson, my job is to go get new business, not to hold your hand once you're already a customer.
Right.
I think in any sales process, everybody's having that same issue.
Yeah. So that's what we're working on. Cause I'm looking at this, if I can turn every client into a raving one, every client will turn into 4 in this industry. If you rave, holy shit, that was an amazing experience. I think we can turn every client into 4, and all of a sudden my average client worth goes from 5,000 to 20,000, which means my marketing budget gets multiplied 4 times, which means I can go start doing tons of stuff in the community that doesn't have any direct return, but it starts pouring people in. And we keep all those customers, so I can keep getting business from them, which then my marketing costs go even lower, but I actually could spend even more. I see that as the biggest lever for us to pull, and what I'm working on figuring out before we scale a ton more locations is how do we get that customer experience to a 10 out of 10 even though a 7 out of 10 beats everybody else out there right now.
Yep. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. The book, a great book on it that we're like kind of using as a team to facilitate that is called Never Lose a Customer by Joey Coleman.
Okay.
If you're into that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really, really useful, man. I'm reading through it and I'm like, dude, I highlighted like half the book. There's just so many things we're screwing up and we could do better. You know, it's like, man, so many things. So
yeah, that's one of the things. I'm trying not to look too far into the future with that, but it's one of the things I worry about moving forward. Because, like you said, when it's me doing everything, it's pretty easy to manage all that stuff. But I don't want to be doing everything forever.
yeah, for sure. What is your big picture goal with this thing? Do you have one?
Yeah, I mean, basically doing a lot of the same stuff you're doing. Yeah, growing as big as I can, getting to the point where I can give equity to somebody else so that they care about the business and can grow it, and I can step back, and then. From there, depending on capital, is just either getting into some type of real estate, owning property, or on that's one end of it, and then the other end is just being able to grow this where I can do things, help other people that I know in other cities.
Nice. Oh yeah, man.
One of the biggest things with starting this was not having reviews, not having a website, not having marketing material. So just like you're doing, if I could provide that to somebody else and get them started in a couple weeks instead of a couple months, there's value in that for somebody else.
Did you read the email or see the video about kind of what we're working towards right now?
Maybe I need more context. Tell me more.
Let's see, what was it? I might not be able to.
I know that you have.
Are you getting the daily emails I'm sending out?
No, I'm not.
Okay. It would have been that. I don't know. It was like a week ago. But there was just an email I sent out that's like, hey, here's what we're working on, and here's kind of where we're going and what we're doing. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of a breakdown of like, hey, this is like literally our 6 main focuses for this year, and why these are the 6 key focuses for us for this year, so that next year these are our main focuses, so that the next year, basically, like I want to build Foothills to 10 million a year, model that, and then get all our other 3 companies to 10 million a year, and then start like 100 painting companies.
Yep.
And get them all to 10 million a year.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
and when you talk about that stuff, just like we were talking about a minute ago, there's so much business. It's like, 5 years from now, I could be doing the same thing you're doing, and there's enough business for both of us.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
So much business. Yeah.
Crazy. I actually, the more I at first thought like, oh, Colorado's $10 million market. And then I'm like, oh, actually, I think that all 3 of our companies in Colorado can do 10 million a year. And now I'm like, actually, I think all 3 of our companies can do 15 million a year just in residential before we even go into commercial.
Yep.
So, that just, and then I think if you can do 15 million in residential, you probably can easily do 15 million in commercial.
Yep. And
all of a sudden it's like, man, 3 companies in one state could do 90 million a year. That's crazy. It's crazy. Yep. So yeah, so I'm like, kind of this last year is the first year where I didn't plan like a 1-year goal, but we made like a just huge goal. That's like 10 to 15. Like I made a 10-year plan and backed it up to here. So anyways, man, yeah, a lot of opportunity, man. A lot of opportunity.
Yeah,
but it starts with you going and knocking on some damn doors.
I know. I'm gonna get that done. I'll make that commitment to you. I'll go do it.
Cool, man. Anything else for now, dude? I
don't think so.
Like talking to people, so I'm excited for you.
No, I appreciate it, man. This has been awesome, and just gonna keep pushing, and we'll make it work, and you'll hear more from me.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. Cool. Well, thanks for chatting, man. And we'll just throw this out there at some point, man. What was valuable out of this for you? I'm just curious.
I think some motivation stuff, and going over some of the things, and just like reaffirmation that I'm doing most things like I should be.
Certainty, little certainty. Yeah, good.
It's tough at the beginning because you were worried about where that next check is going to come from and all that. So.
Well, you know what to do.
I know. You're
right. All right, Ty. Cool, man. Hey, thanks for being. Thanks for the offer too about being flexible with Jennifer. Moving those calls around. I was just too late by then. But
that was actually completely selfish because I got stuck with a customer like an hour north of Dallas. But I made it work. I'm actually at a friend's house right now using his internet.
Oh, dude, nice. Well, hey, it worked out, dude. It worked out. All right, brother. Man.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Have a good day.